Johnny Carson was the king of late-night television, a master of comedy who charmed millions of viewers with his hilarious jokes and flawless delivery. He was the star of The Tonight Show, the most popular and influential talk show in history. But behind the laughter, Carson had a dark side that he kept hidden from the public. With a monstrous ego and an iron-fisted rule over his show, he had no patience for anyone who dared to disrespect or compete with him. From his bitter feud with Joan Rivers to his disdain for Rich Little, Carson didn't hesitate to banish stars from his show without a second thought. In today's video, we'll reveal the truth and clarify claims about the celebrities who were truly barred from The Tonight Show. Number 1. Louise Lasser. You see, Lasser was riding high on her success as the star of Mary Hartman when she was invited to host SNL on July 24, 1976. But things took a turn for the worse, and she ended up being the first person ever banned from the show. The whole debacle started with Lasser's real-life run-in with the law for possessing a small amount of cocaine. This led to some probation time, but it didn't stop her from taking the SNL stage. Little did she know, her stint as host would go down in infamy. During her opening monologue, Lasser decided to channel her on-screen character's nervous breakdown, which resulted in her running off stage in tears. The cast tried to coax her back, but only Chevy Chase in his iconic landshark costume managed to succeed. The rest of the show didn't fare much better, and rehearsals were reportedly a disaster, with Lasser refusing to perform with anyone except Chase. Her sketches seemed to blur the lines between reality and comedy, with one featuring her conversing with a dog and another where she struggled to remember her lines. In an interview years later, Lasser revealed that she intentionally made it seem like she was having a breakdown and refused to perform certain salacious sketches. She even stood her ground against one sketch about teenagers discussing some deep levels of intimacy, which led to her manager pulling the show from SNL's archives. Despite the ban, Lasser denied that she was officially banned and pointed the finger at her manager for the show's disappearance. But why do people think she was banned from The Tonight Show? It's plausible that Johnny Carson aimed to steer clear of a situation reminiscent of SNL's encounter with Louise Lasser. However, there is limited evidence to substantiate this claim, so certainty remains elusive. But her SNL escapade will go down in history as one of the most memorable hosting disasters. Number 2. Chevy Chase. When you think of late-night entertainment, one of the first names that comes to mind is Chevy Chase. He was part of the iconic group known as the Not Ready for Primetime Players on Saturday Night Live, alongside the likes of Dan Aykroyd and the late John Belushi. But the question on everyone's mind is, was he really banned from The Tonight Show? And how did it happen? Well, rumors have been flying around about him being banned from The Tonight Show, but not everyone is convinced. So, what could have sparked all these rumors? One theory is that Chase rubbed Johnny Carson the wrong way by hinting that he would take over The Tonight Show one day. This was a hot gossip topic in the media at the time, and it's easy to see how it might have ruffled Carson's feathers. Another possible reason for the ban buzz is that Carson wasn't exactly wowed by Chase's first appearance on The Tonight Show in 1977. In fact, he got a kick out of watching Richard Pryor poke fun at Chase during the same episode. But hold on a minute. Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. These are all just speculations, and there's no concrete evidence that Carson ever actually banned Chase from his show. In fact, Carson extended multiple invitations for Chase to return to The Tonight Show, and the two even shared the poker table at Carson's celebrity poker games until the end of Carson's life. It seems like their relationship was more of a professional rivalry than a personal vendetta, but is it really a case of exaggerated gossip, or there's something more to the story? Let's know what you think in the comments section. But there was one show Chase was banned from. It turns out that Chase's temper got the best of him during his 8th time hosting Saturday Night Live. But what happened? Chase reportedly hit cast member Cherry O'Terry in the back of the head which was the final straw for the show's producers. But this wasn't the first time Chase's behavior had caused a stir. Even as a young man, he was allegedly difficult to work with. During a guest hosting spot in 1978, he butted heads with newcomer Bill Murray, exchanging cruel jokes and personal insults until it escalated into a physical altercation right before the show was set to go on air. The episode went ahead as planned, with Chase doing his opening monologue as if he hadn't just been brawling with his replacement minutes earlier. Chase's turbulent relationship with SNL continued over the years, including an incident with openly gay cast member Terry Sweeney, who accused Chase of bullying him with homophobic comments. The actor's behavior left a sour taste in many mouths, leading to his ban from guest hosting appearances on the show. Despite this ban, Chase made a surprise appearance on SNL during its 25th and 40th anniversary specials. It seems that while hosting may be off the table, Lorne Michaels still trusts him enough to bring him back on occasion. Number 3. Bob Hope. Bob Hope, the legendary comedian, is another celebrity who most people claim was banned from The Tonight Show, but is true, especially because there seems to be a bit of a mystery surrounding his dwindling appearances on the show in his later years. Let's find out. Despite assumptions by viewers that Bob Hope was a favorite guest of Johnny Carson, it turns out that their relationship was not as cozy as one might have thought. It's a well-known fact that no one graced The Tonight Show stage more frequently than Bob Hope. His appearances followed a predictable pattern, almost like a comedic ritual. He would saunter out to the tune of his theme song, Thanks for the Memory, sometimes even surprising the audience as an unannounced guest. After some banter with Johnny, sprinkled with Hope's obviously prepared gag lines, he would introduce a reel of taped highlights from his upcoming special and then make a hasty exit, always with somewhere urgent to be. However, it seems that this routine grew tiresome for Johnny Carson. Despite sharing NBC as their home network and even using the same studio, Carson never quite warmed up to Hope, both personally and professionally. While Carson often paid homage to classic comedians like Jack Benny and Groucho Marx, he seldom referenced Hope. According to Tonight Show producer Peter LaSalle, Johnny admired Hope's place in show business, but he was not a great admirer of his work. But what could have been the cause of this rivalry? It was partly due to the fact that Carson was the only star at NBC who could challenge Hope for clout at the network. Despite this, Hope, a primetime powerhouse for NBC since 1950, still reigned supreme, and Carson had to defer to him. Another reason is that Carson resented the way Hope could seemingly book himself on The Tonight Show whenever he had something to promote, which appeared to be all the time. As if that wasn't enough, Hope's approach as a guest did not sit well with Carson. Armed with scripted jokes, he rarely engaged in genuine conversation. To add insult to injury, in his later years when his hearing and eyesight were failing, Hope's guest appearances became even more challenging. He often had trouble picking up Carson's questions, and Johnny had to stick precisely to the notes his staff gave him. Otherwise, Hope might answer a different question altogether. So, while Bob Hope may not have been officially banned from The Tonight Show, it's clear that his presence on the show waned due to various factors, including his strained relationship with Johnny Carson and his approach as a guest. Despite being a comedy legend, it seems that even Bob Hope couldn't escape the occasional frosty reception in show business. Now let's take a look at someone that was actually banned from The Tonight Show. Number 4. Lola Falana. Lola Falana, the electrifying performer with a sultry voice and dazzling dance moves, has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Hailing from Camden, New Jersey, Falana's talent was evident from a young age, as she wowed audiences in local talent shows. By the time she was a teenager, she had already established herself as a rising star. Throughout her career, Falana became one of the most sought-after entertainers of her time, gracing television shows, starring in films, and headlining some of the biggest stages in the world. However, despite her immense talent and popularity, Falana's career was not without its controversies. In the late 1970s, she found herself at the center of a media firestorm when she was banned from appearing on The Tonight Show. So, what led to Lola Falana's ban from The Tonight Show? The reasons for her ban weren't revealed until much later, but at the time, rumors swirled about everything from inappropriate behavior to political disagreements with the show's host, Johnny Carson. The infamous incident took place on September 21, 1973, when Falana appeared on The Tonight Show and was interviewed by Johnny Carson. During the interview, Carson asked Falana about a recent trip to Africa. Falana's response about visiting a village where women walked around topless left Carson taken aback and the audience in fits of laughter. However, NBC executives were not amused as they received a flood of complaints from offended viewers. As a result, NBC banned Falana from ever appearing on The Tonight Show again. Carson later expressed regret over the incident, stating that he never intended for Falana to be banned from the show. Despite the ban, Falana continued to have a successful career, starring in movies and TV shows, and even hosting her own variety show, The Lola Falana Show, in the late 1970s. But do you also think that Lola Falana's ban from The Tonight Show did little to dim her star power? Or you'd rather say she remains an unforgettable performer in the annals of entertainment history? Let's know your thoughts in the comments section. Next on the list is a celebrity who didn't just get banned from The Tonight Show, but also managed to rack up quite the collection of bans from various other shows. Number 5. Kathy Griffin. Known for her no-holds-barred humour, Griffin has ruffled more than a few feathers in the entertainment industry. During an interview with O'Donnell in 2012, she revealed that she was banned from The Late Show for years after David Letterman took offence to her material. Not stopping there, she also found herself banned from The View after making a risque joke about the show's creator and co-host, Barbara Walters. And let's not forget the incident with Jay Leno, where a joke left her in tears and out of The Tonight Show's good graces for a long time. It seems that Griffin's sharp wit may have gotten her into more trouble than she bargained for. But the drama doesn't stop there. Griffin also claimed she was banned from the Ellen DeGeneres show, although DeGeneres clarified that it wasn't quite a ban. According to DeGeneres, Griffin's very mean behaviour didn't earn her a spot on the show in the first place. It seems that Griffin's controversial humour has rubbed more than a few talk show hosts the wrong way. Number 6. Rich Little. It's a well-known fact that the world of late-night television can be a cutthroat one, and even the most talented and beloved celebrities are not immune to the banhammer. Take, for example, the case of Rich Little, the Canadian-American comedian, impressionist, and voice actor extraordinaire. Little, often hailed as the man of 1,000 voices, found himself on the wrong side of the Tonight Show banishment, and the reasons behind it are as intriguing as they are eyebrow-raising. In 1960s and 1970s, Little was a frequent guest on various variety and talk shows, charming audiences with his uncanny impersonations and quick wit. He even landed an unofficial monthly slot on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and guest hosts the program about a dozen times. But here's where the plot thickens. Little's spot-on impression of Johnny Carson himself allegedly rubbed the real Carson the wrong way. The very man he was impersonating was not so pleased with Little's dead-on portrayal. According to Little's own account in his biography, Carson was so miffed by the impression that he banned Little from appearing on The Tonight Show without so much as a warning or an explanation. And if you thought this was just a case of hurt feelings, think again. Henry Bushkin, Carson's longtime lawyer, corroborated Little's claim, stating that nobody got under Carson's skin more than Little did. It seems that even the king of late-night television had his breaking point, and for him, it was Rich Little's uncanny ability to mimic his every move. But hold on just a minute. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Fred DeCordova, Carson's producer, had a different take on the situation. He brushed off the idea that Carson banned Little solely because of his impersonation, instead suggesting that they simply weren't interested in hiring him anymore due to his lack of new impressions. It's a classic case of he said, she said, or, in this case, he impersonated, they disputed. Now the question is, which side of this late-night saga do you find more plausible? Was it truly Carson's wounded pride that led to Little's banishment, or was it simply a matter of outgrowing a once-beloved guest? Number 7. Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel, the beloved comedian known for his hilarious antics and hidden camera segments on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, has found himself in a bit of a pickle. Despite his jovial attitude and good-natured persona, it seems that he has managed to ruffle a few feathers and land himself on the wrong side of several show hosts. One such host is Johnny Carson. But what exactly happened? Let's find out. Mandel had appeared 21 times and was trying to secure his 22nd appearance when he received a call from the booker asking him to replace Sammy Davis Jr., who had been diagnosed with cancer. Although Mandel wasn't prepared, he decided to use a 12-foot saber-toothed tiger prop as a last-minute addition to his act. Mandel had a large saber-toothed tiger prop with a carrot on it transported to NBC, but when he arrived backstage, he realized the prop was too large to bring onto the stage. Despite struggles to lift the prop onto the riser, the cameras continued filming, and the audience grew quiet due to the delay. Mandel explained that his intention was to be physical and funny, but it backfired when the moment dragged on and became awkward. Eventually, Mandel managed to get the prop on the stage, but Johnny seemed unimpressed, and the incident ended with Mandel quietly sitting down, leaving both the audience and Johnny puzzled. And though Mandel had prepared jokes for his act, Carson seemed uninterested and eventually ended the segment prematurely. Carson made it clear that Mandel was not welcome to return, and the segment ended with the stagehands removing Mandel's props and bringing on the next guest. And that's how Mandel never appeared on The Tonight Show again. There's another celebrity who found herself on the wrong side of a show. But was it The Tonight Show? Let's find out. Number 8. Sandra Bernhard. Bernhard was banned from a show called The Late Show with David Letterman. The outspoken and tough-talking comedian used to be a regular on the show during its run from 1982-1993, following Johnny Carson's iconic stint. However, when Letterman made the move to CBS, Bernhard seemed to have fallen out of favor with no appearances in over 4,000 episodes. Rumors swirled about the reason behind this apparent ban. Some speculated that there was a rift between the two, while others pointed to a specific incident that led to Bernhard being blacklisted. Whatever the case may be, it was clear that the once-beloved recurring guest was no longer welcome on the show. Fans of the show were left scratching their heads wondering what could have gone so wrong between Bernhard and Letterman. After all, she was hailed as possibly Dave's best recurring guest, with great chemistry and crazy hilarity. So, what could have soured their relationship? According to Bernhard, Letterman believed that she was trashing him among their mutual showbiz circle of friends. In fact, he even confronted her about it during their last conversation. Bernhard denied the accusation, but it seemed that Letterman wasn't convinced. As a result, she never graced the stage of his CBS show. However, in a turn of events that could rival a Hollywood plot twist, the two were able to reconcile just 2 years later. It seems that whatever misunderstanding or miscommunication had occurred between them was finally put to rest. Some say it was a case of mistaken intentions or simply a clash of egos, but the most important thing is that in the end, they were able to mend fences. Number 9. Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone may have also ruffled some feathers over at The Tonight Show, leading to rumors that he was banned from the iconic late-night program. The action superstar, known for his tough guy roles in films like Rocky and Rambo, has had his fair share of memorable appearances on the show. But could there be more to the story? Stallone, who has embodied the epitome of badass in Hollywood, has graced The Tonight Show stage on multiple occasions. His larger-than-life persona and penchant for performing his own stunts have solidified his status as a legendary figure in the entertainment industry. From portraying a heavyweight champion to a demolition man, Stallone has captivated audiences with his on-screen presence. One particularly notable moment occurred during the promotion of Rocky III, when Stallone proudly introduced his 6-year-old son, Sage, to the world on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. Carson, having just seen the film, showered praise on the production, hailing it as a sleeper hit. The interview from this 1976 TV show remains a classic highlight of Stallone's television appearances. Throughout his interactions with Carson on The Tonight Show, Stallone engaged in lively discussions about his films, career milestones, and personal anecdotes. Carson, impressed by Stallone's success with iconic roles such as Rocky and Rambo, found common ground with the action star. Their exchanges were filled with humor and charisma, leaving the audience in stitches. However, whispers of a rift between Stallone and The Tonight Show began to circulate, leading to speculation about a possible ban. Some attributed this supposed ban to rumors of a friendly rivalry between Stallone and Carson over their box office achievements. Allegedly, Stallone jokingly remarked that Carson had ceased inviting him to appear on the show. These murmurs fueled the belief that Stallone had fallen out of favor with The Tonight Show. But some people feel that these claims appear to be shrouded in a lot of misconceptions. They supported their claim by saying, while there may have been playful banter between Stallone and Carson regarding their respective successes, the notion of a ban seems dubious. In fact, Stallone continued to make appearances on the show following these rumors. Notably, he graced The Tonight Show stage in November 2022, where he even imparted his stunt expertise to Jimmy Fallon, demonstrating the art of throwing and receiving fake punches. So, was Sylvester Stallone truly banned from The Tonight Show? It seems that this notion may be more fiction than fact. The evidence suggests that Stallone's presence on the show persisted long after the alleged rift, casting doubt on the veracity of these claims. Number 10. Howard Stern. It's no secret that The Tonight Show has seen its fair share of celebrity drama, but one star who found himself on the wrong side of the ban is none other than Howard Stern. In the world of comedy, a few jabs and jokes at your expense are par for the course, but sometimes things can take a turn for the worse. A good example is Howard Stern's tumultuous relationship with The Tonight Show and its host, Jay Leno. Back in 1995, Stern made a chaotic appearance on The Tonight Show that would go down in infamy. Strutting onto the stage with two bikini-clad women, Stern proceeded to prompt them to engage in a steamy smooch. As if that wasn't enough, he continuously blurred the line between guest and host, talking over Leno and his other guests like he owned the place. Leno was reportedly so incensed that he nearly stormed off the set, and in a fit of rage, he allegedly exclaimed that Stern had shattered in his house. The feud only escalated from there, with Leno publicly calling out Stern for crossing the line of acceptable behavior. Since then, Stern has made it his mission to take jabs at Leno whenever and wherever possible. From chiming in on Leno's feuds with other late-night hosts to accusing Leno of stealing his material, Stern has been relentless in his attacks. On the other hand, Leno has mostly opted to keep quiet on the matter, aside from a few subtle remarks questioning Stern's relevance. The feud reached new heights in 2004 when Stern accused Leno of plagiarism after Leno hired stuttering John Melendez, a former member of Stern's show. Leno extended an olive branch, inviting Stern to hash things out on The Tonight Show. But instead of burying the hatchet, things took a turn for the worse. During his appearance on the show, Stern brought adult film stars onto the stage and deliberately talked over other guests during their interviews, causing chaos and mayhem. This was the final straw for Leno, who promptly banned Stern from ever appearing on his show again. Not content with just a personal ban, NBC even publicly condemned Stern for his outrageous behavior. It just goes to show that even in the glitzy world of showbiz, there are some lines you just don't cross. Number 11. Bobcat Goldthwait. In the annals of late-night television history, there have been many memorable moments, but perhaps none so fiery as the night Bobcat Goldthwait made his mark on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Known for his acerbic black comedy and energetic stage persona, Goldthwait's appearance on the show in 1994 took an unexpected turn when he decided to set his chair on fire. It may have seemed like a spontaneous act of madness, but Goldthwait came prepared with lighter fluid and a hidden lighter up his sleeve. As the flames engulfed his chair, Leno and fellow guest Lauren Hutton sprang into action, dousing the fire with cups of water. Needless to say, Leno was not amused. But the repercussions didn't end there. Goldthwait found himself in hot water, quite literally, as he was charged with arson. In a bizarre twist of fate, he became the first Tonight Show guest to be charged with a crime. The legal aftermath saw him slapped with a $3,180 fine, part of which went to NBC to replace the burnt chair and the requirement to film fire safety PSAs. In true comedic fashion, Goldthwait maintained his innocence, declaring, "I'm not an arsonist, I'm a satirist. If I were an arsonist, I would have been aroused on The Tonight Show. Instead, I was bored shatless like the rest of America." The incident certainly left a lasting impression, not just on The Tonight Show set, but also in the annals of late-night lore. So what do you think about this fiery act? Let us know in the comments below. Number 12. Brad Garrett, best known for his role in Everybody Loves Raymond. It appears that even the affable Johnny Carson had his limits when it came to certain guests. Garrett found himself on Carson's bad side after refusing to alter his stand-up routine, leading to a ban from The Tonight Show. It seems that crossing Carson came with a steep price, and Garrett learned that the hard way. But Garrett's run-ins with controversy didn't end there. In a daring move, he defied house orders and did an impression of guest host Bill Cosby, drawing laughs from the audience, but a cold stare from the Cos himself. It seems that Garrett's rebellious spirit didn't sit well with the powers that be at The Tonight Show. So, which of these celebrities did you miss seeing on The Tonight Show? Also, let us know in the comments section which banishment surprised you the most. Thanks for watching. For a more thrilling story, click now on the next video that pops up on your screen.